If you've ever wondered what happens when a BMW meets bad decisions at 120 miles an hour, Florida Highway Patrol has your answer. Officers from Tampa PD clocked BMW at more than 120 miles per hour in a 55 zone. When FHP troopers joined the pursuit, things got weird fast. The BMW actually slowed down and tucked in neatly behind a patrol car, like the driver suddenly realized maybe this isn't a good idea. But just as troopers thought he was giving up, he floored it again.
I'm trying. Steam it. Keep going. Go. Yep. I'm trying. It's random. Oh.
When the dust settled, the driver, Giovanni Henderson, was taken into custody. Turns out this wasn't his first joyride without a license. In fact, it was his third offense. He's now facing charges for fleeing at high speed, driving on a suspended license, and aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer. Because, of course, it wasn't enough to just flee. If you've ever been caught shoplifting, you probably know the first rule: don't make it worse by outrunning the cops at 100 miles an hour. But apparently nobody told these two ladies from Tennessee. It was April 6th, 2024, when Georgia State Patrol got a bolo or a B on a lookout for a black Nissan Altima wanted for felony shoplifting out of Locust Grove. Trooper Williams spotted it minutes later on I-75 and noticed the front bumper looked like it had been through a demolition derby. That's when he knew this was the one. The trooper flipped on his lights and the chase was on.
Gonna be on the right shoulder. That's on the right shoulder. Headed up towards the 228. Now going in. Attempted to pit, they still rolling. We in, coming up on the 231, they're going towards the right lane.
Now here's the thing. Shoplifting usually involves a Walmart, not an interstate pursuit through 3 counties. But these suspects were fully committed. They drove through the gore, forced cars off the road, and nearly sandwiched themselves between a semi-truck and a family SUV. It was chaos on 4 wheels.
233, they going over towards the right lane. X4 going to the right lane, 233. Left lane. Copy, 238. Excuse me, 237. Coming up on 237. In the right lane. Coming up on heavy traffic. Coming up on the 237 still. Going into the left lane. Getting off at the 237, or excuse me, continuing on the 237. Then on the right shoulder.
Trooper Williams tried a pit once, but had to back off to avoid an innocent driver. On the second try, though, he saw his moment. Clear lanes, open space, and ready to strike.
They just forced the car for opposite shoulder. Still going towards 285, going west, 285.
1041, 285.
Pit. Start 52. Step out with your hands up. Step out with your hands up. Face away from me. Walk backwards. Walk backwards.
The trooper drew his weapon, yelling commands. Suddenly, the passenger door opened, and a woman stumbled out with her hands up. The driver, however, claimed her knee was broken, which, let's be honest, might just be the first honest thing she said that day. Both were taken into custody. The passenger, Crystal King, and the driver, Haley Bott, who, as it turns out, was driving a car with fake tags and real warrants. Bott was sent to the hospital. King went straight to jail, and the Altima was impounded again. It was November 10th, 2022, when Newton County deputies and Covington police were chasing a white Honda Accord. But this wasn't your average speeder. The vehicle was believed to be connected to a missing person case, and things were about to get very strange. As officers closed in, the driver, later identified as Jesse Hardiman, decided to make his own rules.
Attorney, take over incident for the CPD.
Right, what are their charges?
3 to height.
Pickett Bridge Road. Just went down Pickett Bridge Road.
Pickett Bridge Road. There's a engine user, good 20.
The Honda slammed into a subdivision sign and trees, bringing the chaotic pursuit to a dramatic end. Troopers jumped out, weapons drawn, and within seconds, the suspects were on the ground and in handcuffs.
Radio, no I. 1022 Fire and EMS, no I.
Inside the car, police found multiple loaded firearms, including a rifle with no serial number, handguns, and 12 loaded magazines, all within arm's reach of the driver. Oh, and the car? It had fake plates, no insurance, and a long list of crimes attached to its owner. Hardiman was already a convicted felon with a rap sheet that read like a greatest hits album of bad decisions: burglary, assault, theft, fleeing. If you've ever thought about running from the cops in a Ford F-150, here's a little reality check. They don't make a getaway edition. It all started on January 17, 2023, when a trooper sitting on Interstate 40 clocked a blue F-150 flying past at 90, then 100 miles per hour with no license plate in sight. Not exactly the stealth move the driver probably thought it was. As the trooper closed in, the truck lost control, fishtailing wildly before diving off the highway and into city streets. things got really messy. The suspect weaved through traffic, hopped curbs, and later even drove through a college campus like he was late for class. The trooper's brakes were smoking, his patience was gone, and the suspect just refused to surrender. Here comes the campus part, and this is where things really start to spiral. The suspect's reckless driving was reaching a whole new level, weaving through streets like he owned them. Let's just say, luckily there weren't many students around at that hour. As the suspect exited the campus and hit the city streets again, the trooper decided enough was enough. This wasn't just a chase anymore, it was a mission. He shifted gears, locked in, and made it clear. This pursuit wouldn't end until the suspect was stopped. When it was all over, the driver, identified as Mr. Holland, was charged with felony fleeing, aggravated assault on law enforcement, driving on a suspended license, and a whole buffet of other charges, including possession of meth and cocaine. If there were ever a real-life example of you can run but you can't hide, this chase would be it. It all started on October 2nd, 2022, when a white Toyota Corolla was caught doing 98 miles per hour in a 70 zone. Nothing too crazy for Georgia highways, right? Well, it didn't stop there. Instead of pulling over, the driver doubled down and hit 110 miles per hour, weaving through lanes. Deputies even threw down spike strips, but this guy must have watched enough YouTube chases to know what they were. He swerved at the last second, barely missing them. That's when the Georgia State Patrol said, "All right, enough of this." Troopers took primary, closing in as the Corolla nearly sideswiped innocent drivers. pit connected perfectly. The Corolla spun across 3 lanes, slammed into the guardrail, and flew off the highway straight into the woods. The suspect bailed out, thinking he could escape on foot, but that's when deputies unleashed the K-9 units. Within moments, the chase turned from tires to teeth, and justice was about to catch up fast.
Come on. Come on. Track.
Could you tell which way he went?
Not when he got right here.
Go inside! Where?
I've got citizens here.
Track.
You got me. Gun 6,000.
Last guy, sheriff's office, K-9, you didn't show me your hands! Get him! Get him! Get him, Kyle! Get him! Get him! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Go ahead.
I'm not backing off. Put your hands back on the chest.
10-3.
I'm not backing.
The driver, 23-year-old Brandon Rozier, was found hiding on a porch like a kid pretending he didn't just cause a multi-agency chase. Inside his bag, deputies found marijuana prepped for sale, a firearm, and a list of felony warrants long enough to fill a notebook. Armed robbery, kidnapping, probation violations. You name it, he had it. So here's a fun thought. At what point do you think Rozier realized it was over? When the K-9 showed up, or when he hit that guardrail at 100 miles per hour? Either way, this chase proves one thing. You might dodge spike strips, but you can't dodge consequences. It was May 5th, 2020, just before lunch, when Troop H Dispatch called in. A stolen vehicle, a ramming suspect, and a gun involved. Sebastian County deputies were already in pursuit, but this driver wasn't just fleeing, she was fighting back. She'd already smashed into one patrol car, pulled a firearm, and was determined to keep her stolen ride rolling. Troopers joined the chase as the suspect tore through the back roads of Nickeltown.
16 to 1 when you get to Huntington, take 252 back west. Ten 4 when it's safe, try to hit them out. How fast you going?
Page 13.
Oh yeah, they've got it shut down.
She's meeting traffic here head on. I can't pass her now.
After the pit, the trooper's patrol car was heavily damaged, but the suspect's truck slowed down and turned onto private property. For a moment, it looked like she might finally surrender, but little did they know, this chase was about to hit an entirely new level of chaos.
This Comer Lane, I believe, is a dead end. She just turned down.
10-4, that is a dead end.
She's four-wheeling going across yards, going to come out on 10 highway.
If you think driving through a quarry was going to stop Arkansas State Police, you haven't seen their highlight reel. When she came charging back toward officers, they scattered out of the way, and the chase spilled back onto US 71. From there, it only got worse.
1037, primary 87.
Page 6 will be secondary.
6 secondary. Ten 4.
when troopers performed a textbook pit maneuver on Highway 71, sending the stolen car spinning to a stop. The woman, still defiant, was pulled from the vehicle and taken into custody without further incident. Now here's the question. Do you think she realized how lucky she was to walk away from that alive? Because between the gun, the ramming, and the wild backroad chaos, this could have ended very differently. So what do you think? Was this pure adrenaline or pure stupidity? Drop your thoughts below. Pierce County, Washington. Sometimes it's not the high-speed chases that stand out, but the ones where everything that could go wrong somehow does. On May 18th, 2025, a Thurston County deputy tried to stop a driver who ran a stop sign like it was just a suggestion. The SUV had no license plate, but the driver didn't care, flooring it straight onto Interstate 5 North and instantly turning a simple stop into a multi-agency pursuit.
Disregard. Continuing northbound. 39 TA. He just struck a white work van, gonna be pulling over, and the subject is still fleeing, approaching 124. And I've got Lakewood with me. Sam 13, can I go for a pit? Okay, Firm, I've got a Lakewood unit. We're taking the gravelly exit. Continuing Prospect on the northbound.
Lakewood police joined in, boxing the suspect towards South Tacoma's busy streets, and that's when the deputy made his move, landing a perfect pit.
Down 512.
Westbound 512, receive.
Pit.
Bring your copy to pit. There's a going for
Utility stop.
Turns out this wasn't the suspect's first bad decision. A convicted felon on community supervision, wanted for felony escape, suspended license, and a list of warrants longer than Interstate 5 itself. You ever see someone so drunk and overconfident that they think 100 miles per hour is a good way to prove a point? Yeah, meet Kevin Melton, the man who somehow managed to turn a DWI stop into a high-speed comedy of chaos. It was November 11th, 2023, when a trooper on patrol near Flippin, Arkansas, clocked a black sedan doing 97 in a 55, except Kevin decided that instead of pulling over, he'd turn the Ozarks into his personal Fast and Furious audition, minus the skill and plus a lot of bad life choices. When the chase reached Yellville, Kevin was doing 100 miles per hour in a 35 zone, flying past grocery stores and parking lots like he was allergic to common sense. He nearly wiped out multiple times, but the trooper finally managed to close in and attempt a pit.
on the ground. You make an aggressive move and you're gonna get tasered.
Kevin jumps out, lays face down, and surrenders. While the trooper's checking his back seat, Kevin decides to make one last bold move. He bolts for a few feet only to stop, look back, and say, "I just wanted to show you I could have gotten away." And just when the trooper thought the weirdness was over, Kevin leans over and kisses him on the face. Probably not the best time for affection, considering his blood alcohol level was 0.131 and his car was filled with vodka, whiskey, and daiquiris like a mobile bar on wheels. On March 25, 2023, the Atlanta Police Department called for backup. An undercover officer was tailing a stolen silver Mercedes SUV blasting down I-20. The driver was a black male, cool behind the wheel of someone else's luxury ride with Florida plates and zero intention of stopping. Seconds later, a Georgia state trooper spotted the SUV flying around a curve, weaving through traffic like the highway belonged to him. The trooper hit the lights and the chase was on.
795 Atlanta, 1080. Be 20 east at Lowry. That silver Mercedes sedan, Florida 1028.
Oh, yeah, 1033, 795, 1080.
Stay at 20 east, extremely reckless, headed out of traffic. Right lane, Phoenix, are you on here? I'll be taking McDaniel. All right, south on McDaniel, passing Fulton Street.
The suspect darted across lanes, nearly clipping cars, driving shoulder to shoulder, and blasting through intersections like red lights were just suggestions. He flew down McDaniel Street, shot through University Avenue, missing a pedestrian by inches.
Left on Humphreys.
Everyone left.
Cleared south of Humphreys, taking a left on Rockwell, or left on Rockwell. Come on, car. Southbound McDaniel.
Federal Bridge, Metro.
Going into a parking lot. Right on Metro, northbound Metro.
Clear northbound Metro.
Passing Malin Ave.
As the suspect sped down the road, they hit 7 cars in a row. The suspect tried to pass in heavy traffic, struck one car which spun into another, and in seconds, the entire road turned into a demolition derby. The driver and his passenger bailed out, sprinting down Gillette Avenue. Now here's where it gets strange. A perimeter was set, helicopters circled overhead, and officers started searching. Minutes later, out of nowhere, a man walks casually past the scene, in nothing but his underwear. Turns out it was the suspect himself, Michael Smith. He'd stripped off his clothes to try and blend in. I mean, credit where it's due. That's creative. Trooper Pylan spotted him immediately, detained him, and found his clothes nearby. Smith was taken into custody and handed over to Atlanta PD.